There is a saying in German, wenn schon, then schon, which is a way of saying, if you're gonna do something, you gotta do it right. Because that's what the team of Bandish Bandits has followed, and as have I, hopefully for this review. Namaste everyone, my name is Dewika and today I will be reviewing the web series Bandish Bandits, now airing on Amazon Prime Video. As the name suggests, this web series has a musical theme, the word Bandish meaning a rag-based composition in Hindustani classical music. This series features 10 episodes full of music, romance and so much more. Since this is a subject close to my heart, I thought of doing a review of this show from a millennial music lover's perspective. So stay with me and I hope you like this review. The plot has been marketed as a meet-cute between a budding YouTube pop sensation and a promising prodigy of Hindustani classical music. As our star, Tamanna, is looking for ideas for her next big hit, she chances upon the naive and immensely talented Radhe. From there, we see them learn about each other's style of music, grow as people, and what the consequences of their choices are. This is by no means the first time that an attempt has been made to tell the story of musicians. Movies like Baiju Bawra and Sur were serious movies about musicians, whereas Abhiman and Ashiki 2 told stories about the personal lives of singers. But storytelling often took precedence over the music itself due to the limited screen time, cleverly overcome with a web series. So the real star of this series is the beautiful soundtrack which immediately strikes a chord. You don't have to know anything about classical music to enjoy it all because it has been served in palatable doses. The performances also feel more raw, more real, enriching the experience further. The background instrumental for most performances has been kept to a minimum, making the music easy on the ears. Music directors trio Shankar Ehsaan Loy have made their digital debut with Bandish Bandits. Although their Bollywood music has always been ahead of its times, this album is reminiscent of the music they produced for the Marathi movie Katyar Kaljyat Ghusli, a period drama about singers in medieval India. While that album is stunning, what takes this to the next level is making an entire soundtrack about classical music in today's world, yet remaining true to the traditional musical style. The lyrics of the fun, contemporary songs have been written by Divyanshu Malhotra and Tanishq Nabar, while the beautiful classical numbers have been written by Sameer Samant, both of which are very appropriate in their respective contexts. The compelling background score can be credited to Saumil Shringarpuri. The entire musical team blends in together in this modern masterpiece like colors coming together, resulting in new colors. I'm very pleased with the execution on this front in Bandish Bandits. You feel the journey of the musicians as the show progresses. You see the effort that goes into learning classical music, hours of practice of executing complex tunes, a deeper understanding of the lyrics and the melodies, excellent control over breathing, maintaining the through of the voice, resting appropriately, and so on are just some of the things that the singers have to learn. Developing these kind of skills can take years, which has been highlighted very well in this show. I was grateful that we saw the hard work and dedication it takes to become an excellent artist, whatever the art. An artist is after all human, therefore can just as easily fall prey to pride and envy. The show is also a reality check about how art is taken for granted, but the income of the artists isn't taken seriously by the larger society. Coming back to what I said before, it's not just the music that has stayed with me, but also the complex, grey characters and the reflection of our society throughout the show. Do you remember Amitabh Bachchan from Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham? Keh diya na? Bas, keh diya. We have another patriarchal head of the family in the house, who always has the final say. The number of older characters largely overweighs the younger characters, which kind of feels like our generation getting a glimpse into the mind of the older ones, presented to us in a format we get. Maybe that's a hint for us that the world is bigger than the one in our own heads. Other problems such as Log Kya Kahenge, Bahu Ka Kartavya, and the unavoidable generation gap have been spoken about, among many other problems. I like how we see each generation view love differently. The show also touches on modern problems that millennials face. How we are used to instant gratification, we keep seeking validation constantly from loved ones and strangers, how trolling on social media, especially of women, can be so traumatic, how in spite of feeling deep emotions, we seem to be unable to fully and deeply commit to anything in life. In a casual manner, Digvijay says, "Aajkal ke bachchon mein wo anushasan kahan?" But with so much constant input coming from all sides, how can our generation be disciplined and focused? A huge personal takeaway for me was that while one ought to be open to other ideas and cultures, we must also appreciate our roots. Our family and culture give us our sense of identity and keep us grounded, without which we often feel confused about our place in the world. Since this is a sort of review, I have a couple of more things to say about the execution of the show. The design of the show, whether the sets or the costumes, every single frame really is a treat to watch. The cinematography and editing is excellent, and it is delightful to get a meaningful glimpse into the lifestyle of the Blue City, Jodhpur. The show has a wide spectrum of emotions, which have all been portrayed brilliantly by a very capable cast and crew. Director Anand Tiwari and writer Amritpal Singh Bindra team up to tell us the stirring story. The other main attraction of the show is the excellent star cast. Naziruddin Shah and Atul Kulkarni both mesmerize with their screen presence and speak as much with their silences as with their dialogues. Sheba Chadha stole my heart as Mohini, Radhe's mother with a spine of steel. Rajesh Tailang as the helpless father and Amit Mistry as the supportive uncle are quite convincing. The unfiltered millennial manager, played by Kunal Roy Kapoor, and the shallow but staunchly loyal friend, played by Rahul Kumar, add a layer of humor to the storytelling. Shreya Chaudhary as Tamanna is adorable and relatable. But Ritvik Bhaumik as Radhe grabs your attention from start to end. I guess it's also more his story here. Does he remind anyone else of a young Ali Zafar? Rangi hai tu rangon se bhi zyada. But I would be remiss if I did not include the talented singers in this list. I could do a whole different video about the music and the singers in Bandish Bandits. But here's a quick list of the singers I've identified so far. The voice for Radhe has been lent largely by three singers, Shivam Mahadevan, Javed Ali, and Dhananjay Mhaskar. Shankar Mahadevan lends his voice to Digvijay, and they roped in Maestro Pandit Ajay Chakrabarti as the singing voice of Pandit Rathod. Singers Farid Hassan and Mohammad Aman sing the climax Jugalbandi version of Garaj Garaj, which is outstanding. Among these big names, you also hear the voices of Pratibha Singh Baghel and Shreya Sondur in cameo appearances. The pop voice for Tamanna has been lent by a sweet Jonita Gandhi, and the duet by Jonita and Arman Malik will be a millennial favorite. #couple goals. Mami Khan brings up the rear with a feeling of mitti ki khushboo with his rendering of the theme song. Now there are a couple of things that I missed in the show. Perhaps we can see these the next time? Whether through flashbacks or examples of younger students, it would have been great if we also got to see how young kids start learning music in the first place and then related to Radhe's extraordinary journey. Perhaps a couple of subplots were unnecessary. The end was a little confusing and unclean, with some subplots left completely unexplained. Also, this is a picky musician's complaint. There was a moment when the sarangi was playing and the camera focused on the harmonium instead. Anyway, I appreciate the work that the actors have put in to look like they're really singing, and only experienced musicians will be able to notice any places that were missed. In spite of these minor blips, the show stands well on its own, and compared to a lot of content out there, Bandish Bandits shines through as a quality entertainment package, as we hope it lays the foundation for better stories, better soundtracks, and helps revolutionize mainstream content. To the entire team of Bandish Bandits, thank you for making quarantine a little more bearable. All in all, whether you love music, whether you wanted to understand the world of Indian classical music, whether you want to see portrayal of complex grey characters, or are simply looking for quality Indian entertainment, you can definitely give Bandish Bandits a shot. How did you like the show? How did you like this review? Should I do a separate music breakdown video? Let me know in the comments below. One last thing. Who is designing Radhe shirts? They are so cool. I would love to have a version of those for myself. Until next time, folks. Bye-bye.
लब पर आए गीत सुहाने मान न जियरा लाख बहाने याद तिहारी आए सताने मन लागे रे पछताने हो मोरे सैया मैं लागू तोरे बैया पलम ना जाओ परदेस।